Well, let's take a look at the steps in automating, because we've glossed over a lot of the details and we're going to tell you the details. This slide shows a simplified version of what's all going on. You're collecting threat intelligence over on the left. That comes from a variety of different places. There's proprietary feeds from vendors, such as Five By, CrowdStrike. There's government-enabled feeds, so Homeland Security has a feed that you may be eligible for. There's the event logs feeding back from the end of this. Private researchers, there's a lot of that information. But that information is pretty raw. What you really need to do, shown in the next two steps, is you need to make sure that there's no errors in that information. You want to make sure that perhaps it isn't turning off the 100 most important customers that you have. So you're enabling a whitelist so that there's no false positives that can hurt you here. And then you need to filter that information, both from a human point of view and a machine point of view. Some of it's automatic, some of it's judgment call, some of it requires human intervention. You customize the policy that you want. If you're operating out of the US, you have one set of constraints. If you're operating out of Australia, there's a different one. There's different rules that you have to follow. And last, there's distributing the results in a timely way to all of the different network enforcement devices. Gathering the data, the Department of the Treasury has weekly updates about OFAC restrictions. You can also go and look up, for example, if you were told to block Huawei, well, there's their office in Santiago, Chile you have to worry about, not just continental China. There's Five By's threat intelligence. And there's documents that you actually have to go read in order to inform your threat intelligence database. So all of this information is pretty complicated. Then you need to go enriching that information with online information that you get, perhaps in different languages. Take a look at the autonomous systems and basically the routing information and who owns what networks where in order to get a comprehensive set of sanctions enforcement. A lot of this has to do with routing and BGP and so forth, and we do that all in an automatic way. You, the customer, get to decide which sanctions you want enforced. OFAC, ITAR, geographic. Sometimes you want to have your own personal sanctions for your business. If what you do is you sell peach pies in Georgia, and it's the Georgia that's a state in the US, you might not care to take orders from outside the country. So you might want to protect your website and just say, I'm only going to talk to entities in the US. You get to decide. Different offices can have different rules if that's appropriate. You can have your own whitelist and blacklist that are added to our customized data. Lastly, you take a look at where you want the threat intelligence distributed and take a look at the results. Again, all of this is done in a near real-time way.